Welcome back. Thank you for remaining with us. Of course, we're still looking at the stock performances here for the Uganda Securities Exchange, and winding up this, of course, we look at the counters that also performed, much as they may not have been among the gainers or the losers, but there were still, of course, some active participants on the market that, of course, influence the movement of the market. And as you can see, we have our chart there, including Bank of Baroda, British American Tobacco, and the like. And now, starting with Bank of Baroda, we see that they had 85 shillings as their closing price. And we see there was no movement there for them in terms of price, but not something to note for you as we end the month of July. Bank of Baroda has planned to have their annual general meeting on the 26th of August. The year is 2022. And if you're a shareholder there, you should attend this meeting. Matters to be discussed, definitely we will have the financial results for the year 2021 discussed. We'll also have the company be able to give out a dividend, a certain amount of dividend, which will be subject to approval by the shareholders on this particular stock of Bank of Baroda. Bank of Baroda didn't have any trading volumes yesterday, and so we see also the price remaining at 85. Then we move to British American Tobacco, Uganda, at 15,000. No activity, no movement in prices for this particular counter. And then down to Centum Investments Company at 319.92, and that was a 2.04 gain. And then we're down to Cipla. Cipla also didn't have any activity or any trading, but the price is maintained at 70 Ugandan shillings. Then we move to DFCU Bank at 550 Ugandan shillings. We don't also see any activity there for DFCU counter, and we see that the price remains stable at 550, closing the market at the same price. And then East African Breweries Limited didn't also have any activity, but ended the day as a loser at a 4.56 depreciation in price valuation there, ending with 4,456.6765 as their closing price. Equity Bank Limited lost by 11.43 Ugandan shillings and lost to a price of 1,413.28. If you can remember, Equity Bank Limited was among the gainers yesterday, and today it's among the losers. I guess that's how the market works, and that's how the price ended. The pricing ended for this particular day. Then we had 123.02 for Kenya Airways, who came out as the second gainer, gaining by 0.54 Ugandan shillings. And then we see MTN Uganda also lost by 0.23 Ugandan shillings to end the day with the price of 189.77. Moving on to other stocks here, National Insurance Company came in at 6 Ugandan shillings, did not trade any volumes. Oh, it did. Actually, National Insurance traded 131,500 shares. And we can see down to Nation Media Group. Nation Media Group at 578.16 closing price, lost about 29.46 Ugandan shillings on its stock price. And then down to, we can move down to National Vision Printing and Publishing Company at 155. We don't see any volumes that were traded. Stanbic Bank Uganda traded 50,000 shares and ended the day with the 22.2 Ugandan shillings price. Then Uganda Clays Limited at 19 cents traded a total volume of 64,409 shares yesterday. Womeme Limited came out at 200 shillings, no gain, no loss, and no volumes traded. JHL, Jubilee Holdings Limited, came out closing the day at 7,941,000 there at a price loss of 13.36 Ugandan shillings. Regarding the summary of this trading day particularly, we can say that the trading day ended with 354,024 shares traded on the market, and this corresponds to a total market value of 23,539.921. That is about 23.5 million in average that was traded yesterday on the stock market. And the company, we can see that shows that there was a daily decline of about 65% in the total volume of shares traded, 84% decline in the total turnover, and the current market capitalization now for the Uganda Securities Exchange is 21.2 trillion Ugandan shillings. In aggregate, therefore, there were only 4 Uganda Security Exchange listed equities that participated in trading, ending the day with just 2 gainers. Like we mentioned, Centum and Kenya Airways came in position number 1. The other side, that is the losing side, we had 7 counters that were, of course, led from the bottom by Nation Media Group, who came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of about 4.85% at exactly 578.16 Ugandan shillings per share. He was followed by KCB Group and Stanbic Bank Uganda and Equity Bank Uganda down there on the losing side. National Insurance Corporation recorded the highest volume that was traded for the day, and he was followed by MTN at 108,115. Now, National Insurance Company traded about 131,500 shares, while MTN traded about 108,115 shares. Uganda Cranes Limited traded about 64,409 shares on the market, while Stanbic Bank traded 50,000 shares on the market. Regarding the performance of the indices, like we have seen over the 7 losers and only 2 gainers, the all-share index, the benchmark index for this exchange, went down by 12.46 points, and that was a 1% drop in points to close at 1,234 points. Now, this represents a 1-week loss of 2.36%, a 4-week gain of 6.77%, but an overall year-to-date loss of 13.11%, but an overall year-to-date loss of about 13.11%. The USE Local Company Index, which is another index that tracks the performance of the domestic equities here in Uganda, we see that it also decreased by 0.28% to 276.53 points. And this represents a 1-week loss of 0.8% and a 4-week gain of 0.92%, while a year-to-date loss of 14.82%. That ends the performance here monitored on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Definitely we shall be looking into now the performances of other stocks in East Africa, moving into particularly the Kenyan stock market. We can also see how this particular stock was able to play out yesterday. Moving into the Nairobi Stock Exchange, we can see that the index for the Nairobi Stock Exchange also went up. So it went up by 2.04 points. We see that there was a slight increase in this performance as compared to yesterday, but one. Nairobi Stock Exchange is the principal stock exchange for Kenya, but also the largest exchange here in East Africa, and the model exchange, if I can say, because it's began in 1954. Back then, before any other exchange was began in Uganda. But we are looking at today's performance, and these markets here ended yesterday with a couple of participants on the market. We see that there were over 45 Nairobi Stock Exchange companies that were able to participate in trading, with ending with 21 gainers and 18 losers. And BK Group led the gainers with a 6.67% share price appreciation, closing at 28.8 Ugandan shillings per share, followed by Samia Africa at 6.4% gain, while Liberty Kenya Holdings at 5.49%, and Sanlam Kenya came out at a 5.45% gain. These are stocks that, of course, are listed from Kenya, and you can wonder why we need to monitor some of these, because simply you don't have to rest here in Uganda. You can move as far as Kenya when you're investing. You don't have to limit yourself because the more you diversify, the more you see your risk, diversified, the better. The better your return, the better also, the much more safer you become, because one company can lose in a certain country and gain in another. Now, just looking at the stock exchange here in Uganda, sometimes these cross listings lose on the Ugandan market and gain on the Nairobi market. So it's no harm for you to invest across borders if you may. Now, looking into the performance of the indices, the NSE market indices, we look at the benchmark index, that is the Nairobi Stock Exchange All Share Index. It came in at a decline of 1.55 points, and that was a 1.14% drop to close at 133.83 points, representing a 1-week loss of 3.97% and a 4-week gain of 11.15%, but an overall year-to-date performance loss of 19.6%. Other remarkable indices that were able to perform on the Nairobi Stock Exchange were the NSE 20 index, monitoring the top 20 companies, which performed with a 0.1% decline, and we see a 0.84 weekly percent decline. Generally, not much of improvement there. But then looking at the trading summary for the Nairobi Stock Exchange, we see that at the end of the trading session yesterday at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, there were a total of 15.2 million shares that were traded in over 920 deals, corresponding to a market value of Kenya shillings 475 million that were traded. Compared with the previous Nairobi Stock Exchange trading day, we had about a 197% improvement in volume, a 282% improvement in turnover, but a 5% decline in the deals. And the current market capitalization of the Kenyan market, that is the Nairobi Stock Exchange, is 2.08 trillion. Now, looking into the pricings of some of these shares, remember you can access these and more through your stock broker, your respective stock broker, where you want to, for example, buy stock in Absa Bank, Kenya, maybe Bamburi Cement, maybe Safaricom there in Kenya. You just have to go to your stock broker and mention that you would want to buy some of these stocks, and they will do the needful. The Kenyan market is divided into 4. That is the main market investment segment, and that is for the big companies. And then we have the second segment, which is called the alternate investment market segment for the medium enterprises. We also have the fixed income securities market segment, which looks at fixed incomes like treasury bonds and bills, and that is also listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. And the growth enterprise market segment, which looks into the growth enterprises, those that are just coming up, small and medium enterprises that are looking to gain capital from the stock market and see that they build the legacy and also come up onto the main board, which is the main investment market segment. Definitely that brings us to the end of the stock market performances. We can see that we didn't have much activity on the Ugandan market, but compared to the Nairobi market, we can see slight differences here and there because, of course, their market is bigger and they have much more activity, and this influences also their performance. But we see the volumes, they trade over 15 million shares a day, and our volumes here are only 100,000 shares a day. We still have a lot to do, and I would like to ask you to just join me with OTEX East Africa, which is giving you a chance to be able to participate in trading stocks, in trading on other securities like bonds and treasury bills across East Africa by simply dialing *292# using your MTN line. You can now access all these securities and pay via your mobile money. That is using your Momo Pay, MTN mobile money, and you can be able to enjoy investing in all these securities at no cost using your MTN SIM card right now. OTEX East Africa has been a company in operation with this, of course, license since 2016, and they are experienced at what they do. They are together with OTEX Clearing, telling you right now with *292#, you can be able to access, buy or sell, create an account. You can get the bonds, you can learn more about the products, and all you have to do is to choose. You can also select your preferred maturity period. You can also choose to use that preferred period as your bond. You can buy that bond and deposit your initial deposit, and then you put your PIN number. The markets are open there at 8:15 a.m. on the OTEX East Africa, and they close at 3:15 p.m. They open at 8:15 a.m. and close at 3:15 p.m. OTEX East Africa, in conjunction with OTEX Clearing, are giving you that chance. Thank you for remaining with us, and definitely we hope you have had yourselves a wonderful time. We're going to go into another short break, and we return with more. Don't go anywhere. My name is Anthony.